Most people believe that if two partners talk often, they must understand each other. Yet many relationships sit at the dinner table, exchange hundreds of words, and still go to bed feeling strangely alone. Today we're uncovering 7 psychological reasons couples feel emotionally unheard even when they talk every day. Welcome to Unspoken in Marriage, where we uncover the hidden psychology behind love, silence, and the misunderstandings that shape every relationship. Number 1. Listening to reply, not to understand. Psychology shows that most conversations in close relationships are not actually about listening. They are about preparing the next response. What often happens in real relationships is this. One partner speaks about a stressful day, and the other nods, but internally is already forming advice, defense, or their own story. Many couples genuinely believe they are good communicators simply because they talk often. But talking is not the same as emotional reception. For example, a wife explains she feels overwhelmed managing the house and work. Her husband quickly replies, "You should just hire help or plan better." He thinks he solved the problem. But she didn't want a solution. She wanted to feel understood, and in that moment, she feels unheard. Because emotional listening is not about fixing. It's about feeling. The shift here is simple, but powerful. Before responding, pause. If you are the one listening, whether husband or wife, train yourself to ask one small question first. Do you want comfort or ideas? Psychology shows this single habit dramatically reduces emotional disconnection because it removes guessing. If you are the one speaking, help your partner by naming your need clearly. I'm not looking for advice right now. I just need you to hear me. What often heals relationships is not perfect listening, but clarified expectations. Small sentence. Huge emotional difference. Number 2. Conversations stay at the surface. Many couples talk daily about schedules, bills, children, traffic, chores, and responsibilities. But rarely about fear. Rarely about loneliness. Rarely about emotional needs. Psychology calls this functional communication. It keeps life running, but not love alive. Many relationships can describe their partner's weekly timetable perfectly, but still struggle to know what their partner is secretly anxious about. Imagine a husband asking, "Did you pay the electricity bill?" His wife answers yes. They spoke, but emotionally, nothing connected. Words were exchanged, but feelings were not. Emotional depth does not happen automatically. It must be invited. What often works in real relationships is introducing one small daily emotional check-in, not a long discussion. Just one intentional question. Something like, "What stressed you the most today?" or "What's been on your mind lately?" If you are married, dating, or preparing for marriage, this simple ritual builds emotional familiarity long before problems explode. And if your partner answers briefly, don't push. Consistency matters more than intensity. Emotional doors open slowly. And if you're finding these insights helpful, consider subscribing to Unspoken in Marriage. This channel exists to help you understand the quiet psychological patterns most couples never notice until it's too late. Number 3. The fear of emotional consequences. Sometimes partners don't feel unheard because the other person isn't listening. They feel unheard because they never said the real thing. Psychology shows humans naturally avoid emotional risks inside relationships when past honesty led to conflict, dismissal, or misunderstanding. Over time, people learn what is safe to say and what is dangerous. For example, a man feels neglected but remembers the last time he expressed this, it turned into an argument. So now he only says, "I'm fine." His partner hears calm words, but the real message never arrived. Silence hides inside speech. Safety is not created by promises. It is created by reactions. If your partner finally shares something vulnerable, the first response matters deeply. Psychology shows that the first moments of response often determine whether someone will ever open up again. So if you are listening, try responding with, "Thank you for telling me that. I didn't know you felt this way." Only after that, discuss the issue. And if you are the one afraid to speak, start smaller than the full truth. You don't need to release everything at once. Start with one honest sentence. Emotional safety grows in layers. Number 4. Emotional language mismatch. Not everyone expresses feelings the same way. Psychology shows people have different emotional communication styles. Some direct, some indirect, some logical, some expressive. What often happens in real relationships is that one partner speaks emotionally, while the other processes logically. For instance, a girlfriend says, "I feel like you don't care about me lately." Her boyfriend hears accusation and replies with evidence. "I called you yesterday, texted you this morning, and fixed your car." He thinks he proved he cares. She feels he ignored her feeling entirely. Both spoke honestly. Both left frustrated because they were speaking different emotional languages. The key here is translation, not persuasion. If you are emotionally expressive, try replacing global emotional statements with specific requests. Instead of, "You don't care about me," try, "I miss when we spend relaxed time together. Can we plan that?" And if you are the logical processor, train yourself to answer the emotion first before the facts. Something like, "I'm sorry you've been feeling that way. That matters to me." Then explain your actions. Emotion first. Explanation second. If you've reached this point, you're already seeing something powerful. Most relationship problems are not caused by bad intentions, but by hidden psychological patterns. And learning these patterns can completely change how you experience love, marriage, and even future relationships. Number 5. Emotional timing is often wrong. Many partners try to talk, but at the worst emotional moment. Psychology shows that when the brain is stressed, tired, or defensive, emotional processing drops sharply. This means the conversation itself may be valid, but the timing kills the connection. A wife raises a sensitive concern the moment her husband walks in exhausted from work. He answers shortly. She interprets it as emotional rejection. Or a husband tries to discuss intimacy late at night when his partner is mentally drained. The message may be right, but the emotional window is closed. Healthy couples don't just choose what to say. They choose when to say it. A simple but powerful habit is asking permission before emotional conversations. For example, "Is this a good time to talk about something important?" Psychology shows this lowers defensiveness immediately because the brain feels respected, not ambushed. And if the answer is no, agree on a specific later time. Not later, but after dinner or tomorrow morning. Respecting emotional timing protects emotional connection. Number 6. Accumulated micro-dismissals. Emotional disconnection rarely happens in one dramatic event. It happens in hundreds of tiny moments. Psychology calls these micro-dismissals. Small sighs, distracted phone scrolling, half responses, interrupted sentences, sarcastic tones. Each one feels small, but the brain records them. Many partners feel shocked when one day someone suddenly says, "You never listened to me." The other replies, "That's not true." And technically, maybe it isn't, but emotionally, the accumulation of tiny dismissals created the feeling of permanent invisibility. Repair also happens in tiny moments, not grand gestures. Small presence. When your partner starts speaking, try one visible sign of attention. Put the phone down, face them fully, or repeat one sentence they said. Psychology shows that reflective listening, even briefly repeating, So today was really stressful for you. Dramatically increases perceived emotional support. And if you realize you dismissed them earlier, repair it quickly. A simple, "Sorry, I wasn't fully listening earlier. Tell me again." That sentence alone can rebuild emotional trust. Number 7. The illusion of familiarity. Perhaps the most dangerous psychological trap of all. Assuming you already know what your partner will say. When couples spend years together, the brain begins predicting responses before they're spoken. And once prediction starts, listening stops. Many couples interrupt each other mid-sentence not out of disrespect, but because their brain thinks, "I already know this." But people change. Stress changes them. Life changes them. Marriage changes them. Parenthood changes them. The person you think you know may be carrying feelings you haven't truly heard in years. The antidote to familiarity is curiosity. Healthy long-term couples deliberately ask questions they think they already know the answer to. Questions like, "What's been worrying you lately? What feels different in your life right now? What do you need more of these days?" Not because they lack history, but because they respect change. Whether you're already married, currently in a relationship, or still hoping to build a lasting relationship someday, curiosity keeps emotional hearing alive. Now I'm curious, which of these 7 felt the most personal to you? Was it the surface conversations, the wrong timing, the emotional language mismatch, or something else? Let me know in the comments, because awareness is where relationship healing quietly begins. Feeling unheard is rarely about silence. It's usually about habits. Habits of timing. Habits of listening. Habits of emotional safety. Habits of attention. Change the habits, and the emotional distance starts shrinking. And if today's insight opened your eyes, then you need to watch the next video. Because emotional silence rarely starts big. It usually begins with something much smaller. In our next episode, we'll uncover how small misunderstandings slowly turn into resentment, and why most couples don't notice it happening until the damage already feels heavy. Until then, remember this. In relationships, the loudest distance is not created by silence. It's created by conversations where nobody truly feels heard. The real problem was the distance between what was said and what was emotionally received. Because relationships don't break from lack of conversation. They break from lack of emotional understanding. And the moment two people finally feel understood, even difficult love starts feeling safe again.